Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us. I am your host, Lloyd Strayhorn. Okay, let's do this a second. As you see, I have my very distinguished guest on the fly that's coming on and joining me in just a matter of moments. His name is Dennis Sumlin, a very distinguished guest. That's all I can say. The brother's awesome, and you'll see what I'm talking about. In the meantime, this is good to see you. Today is a full moon. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, my guest is also not only a confidence coach, but he is a superb astrologer, numerologist as well. So everybody's going to get a nice treat today. We're going to read as many people. I'm not going to. I'm going to let him showcase what he can do because I want you to support what he's doing, show that kind of love to him and things of that nature. But in the meantime, though, let me show the audience love about the forecast for today. All righty. It is, first of all, the show is Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Please like, share, and subscribe. If I don't do this, I forget to say this. So again, like and it's growing. I really appreciate this. And I appreciate all the people that like it, share it, and please subscribe. But today is Wednesday, July the 13th, 2022. The sun is in Cancer. It's a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. It's a 4 universal month, a 6 universal week, an 8 universal day. And if you happen to be a Capricorn, an Aquarius, a Libra, Leo, Gemini, or Taurus, or if you were born on the 4th or the 8th, the 13th to 17th, the 22nd, 26th, or 31st of any month, this is an interesting day to say the least. And so let me now bring on my very distinguished guest here. And his name is Dennis Sumlin. Okay, hold on. Let me do something one more second here. There we go. Dennis, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing great. How are you today, sir? This
Fine,
evening?
fine. Thank you. Small world. We both live in Harlem. We both, yeah. See, we get those ambient sounds from the street.
Yeah, hey, we're right next to each other, so
Yeah.
that's how it be.
Yeah. It's very nice meeting another colleague. And you know what makes life so interesting, Dennis? I got a note from somebody who mentioned your name. I called you, and here we are. And it just shows you how small this world is. You happen to be an unusual title, confidence coach. How did you come upon that?
That's a really great question. Confidence coach. You know what it is? I have always wondered about this thing that we all call confidence. So when I was younger, I used to experience kind of like little doubts in myself about my level of confidence. And, I just wasn't really aware of my own level of confidence and, fall into that trap when you're younger, kind of comparing yourself to others. So what I would do is I would start reading things. I would read psychology, human psychology. I would consult, I started with astrology and numerology when I was a teenager. So I would study all these different things and figure out what is this about confidence and how do I become aware of it? How do I build my confidence? How do I improve my self-image? And as I learned and grew into that, I eventually, after going through different kinds of career whirlwinds, I decided to kind of, become a coach, because the first thing I ever wanted to do growing up is to be a teacher. That's the very first thing I ever wanted to do. And so this gave me an opportunity when I became a certified coach. This gave me an opportunity to help others find this elusive thing called confidence and either make them aware of what they already have or kind of build that thing into them where they can take advantage of that.
What do you think is so elusive about confidence?
Well, I think that some people feel like confidence is something that is automatic. Either you're born with it or you're not. And if I don't have confidence, well, I just can't get it. Some people feel that way.
Yeah.
And my message is, yeah, they do. And they think it's some sort of a thing where it's a privilege to get confidence. You're just born that way. But I don't really think that that's 100% true. So, as we know that through astrology, numerology, we all know that we're born with different powers, abilities, advantages, talents. And so
Sure.
we can all use those individual talents to build a sense of confidence in ourselves. So it's not something that is gifted to the privileged. It's something that we all have access to.
And what made you decide to, once you had started questioning your own about getting confidence, to say, I need to do this? In fact, I know this, you won some top prizes in Toastmasters, which is, for people who are familiar with it, it is about public speaking. Because, they said more people are scared to speak in public in front of people than anything. And it's surprising. And doesn't that have to do with confidence too, in a way, Dennis?
It does. But for me, I grew up on this stuff. When I was 11 years old, I started doing improv tapes and me doing all the voices. And I had improv classes when I was in high school. And I did a lot of performing arts when I was a kid. I never had stage fright in the way other people experience it. I never feared being in front of people. I was always trying to be behind the mic. That's just kind of natural there's an astrological reason for that, of course, but sure. Putting that aside, that's kind of natural for me. And for other people, I know it's not so natural, but you can grow into it. You can break this supposed fear of public speaking.
What do you think is the very first stage to lead to building confidence? I know there's stepping stones that you go through, not to put all your secrets out there, because I want people to get in contact with you to build up their confidence. But what maybe is some of the things that kind of like, is it how we look at ourselves, you think? Or are we so busy looking at other people that we forget to look at ourselves, that what we have inside is just as good, maybe?
You hit it on the nose, brother. That's exactly, because we're brought up to, be humble and give deference to somebody else. And then when you're growing up as a kid, you're going through those puberty years, you're comparing yourself to other people and, oh, he looks like that, but I look like this. And the boys say that you're not really a man if you look like that, so all that stuff kind of gets into in your head. And of course, people have different backgrounds as well. So, I think that's really what causes it. We are around people and situations that take us outside of ourselves so much that we miss our own talents. We look right past our own abilities or project those abilities onto other people. Like we admire them for things that lie dormant in us. It's a lot, but yeah.
You have a most interesting website that I'm going to show people on your banner later on. I mean, it's chock full of all kinds of information. One of them, over and about books and courses, there's something you talk about masculinity. Can you explain that?
Well, okay. So here's what it is with the website. As you know, I'm a coach, and I started out in the coaching field, coaching men. I was a men's personal development coach. And so I spent the first number of years in this business doing personal development coaching for men. So when I moved the business over to being a professional astrologer numerologist, I actually just kind of left that material up there because I think it's relevant. That's why you go on the website and you see astrology, numerology, and self-discovery, right? Because when you understand astrology, numerology for yourself, it opens up a whole new system of self-discovery. And because I used to be a men's coach, many of the articles and podcasts and interviews I've done over the past number of years are still relevant to the pursuit of understanding who you are. So some of that stuff has just been carried over.
Well, I listened to some of it, and I don't know how long ago you did it, but I know it is just as relevant now as it was then when you first did the podcast, which I think is amazing. Now, when you were teaching as a confidence coach, what made you decide to get over into astrology, numerology?
I think it's my calling, to be really honest with you, because the first thing I ever wanted to do, like I said earlier, was be a teacher. And then I also got into astrology really early. Like I always had a sense of something beyond myself, like a spiritual thing. I've always had a sense of spirituality, a sense of what else is out there on a metaphysical level. I always had a metaphysical kind of mindset. And so when I found astrology and numerology, it really gave language to all the things that I was experiencing that I didn't have language for. because it's a metaphysical practice. Astrology, numerology, it's vibrational. It involves spirits. It involves metaphysics, the things that you can't see. So that became a language I can speak through, where I can put words to my intuitive senses, right? And so I just kind of did it for myself, for my friends, things like that. And I was doing other things for careers, like the early pursuit into, the entertainment business, and I did a little politics here and there. But after a while, I kind of was called back to what I really think I'm here for, is to use the science of metaphysics, namely astrology and numerology in my case, to really help myself and help others really get back to themselves, back to understanding themselves. And for me, I found that is the most effective way that I can pursue my mission of helping people to grow, is through astrology, numerology, counseling, and so forth, or teaching them their chart. And I find that for the things I do and the person I'm about, I find that avenue to be way more effective for what I'm trying to do.
Excellent, excellent. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go to the comment section in a moment. And so for those who want to give their birthdays and whatnot, I guess sometimes people will ask a question. Oftentimes they will just give the name and their month and date of birth. Is that sufficient?
Hey, that's okay with me.
Okay, good. All right, now, so that means, like myself, you combine both the arts of numerology and astrology together, or astrology and numerology, call it what you will.
Yes, I do. If I do a reading for someone, let's say they come to me for an astrological reading, I'm going to be gawking at their numbers, and vice versa. They come to me for a good number spread, I'm going to be gawking at a little bit of the astrology. It depends on what they're coming to me and what their questions are.
No, it sounds like what I do. It sounds just like what I do. Okay,
Yeah.
Dennis, I got you. Okay, what we're going to do is go to the comment section, and right off the bat, Jessica, hold up, let me see. Okay, I've got somebody here. Her name is Jessica Stillman. She says, hello, everyone. She's born February the 23rd, 1978.
February 23rd, 1978. So the first thing that pops out to me, first I like that Jessica, the J, that J is vibrating to that one. So I sense there's going to be some confidence in the way that she may approach things. I'm also looking at that 23 in her birth date. That sounds like fun. It sounds like intuition and variety, the love of variety, knowing different things, understanding different things, variety, traveling, knowing different people, understanding different types of knowledge. Very, very, very good. And I'm also looking at the approach that you take into life, Jessica, kind of an introvert. So maybe you come off a little bit more of an introvert when people first meet you, because you're kind of coming from that internal perspective, very intellectual, very scientific. And when people get to really know you, they find out a lot more about how deep and intellectual you are and just how much you know. So just in short, pretty nice.
Good. And I like that because I want you to sell them the sizzle, and then so they can call you to get the steak. I got this one is Amira Wane. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. It is January the 21st of 2003. So what would you say to this person?
January 21st, 2003. All right. So the first thing that pops out to me is that love of being able to express yourself creatively. That 21-3, of course, is really into just expressing yourself, saying what you want to say, being experimental with life, rolling the dice, because it's a very lucky situation that you got there. But you're another one that does approach life from a very balanced point of view. You kind of come off like you like a little bit of routine, a little bit of familiarity. And you're somebody else that may come off a little bit more quieter. When someone gets to know you, boy, you can talk. You may come off a little resonant at first because you want to make sure what's what, but boy, when they get to know you, you can talk.
I think we could agree, and the background also agree with you too. Okay, we got this person here, Stephen Williams. He is born November the 3rd of 1963 in Chicago.
November 3rd, 1963. What is, I see this is very interesting with the people that are coming here. These people are really interested in spirituality. That's another thing I'm getting here. The third tells me that there's a pursuit of knowledge, not just any knowledge, but something more on a higher level, that Jupiterian kind of spiritual knowledge that you want to learn more about. Learning and growing, expanding your knowledge and spirituality. So looking at different modalities such as astrology and numerology. And you kind of approach life with a fun, open kind of thing. Hey, let's do different things. Let's go these different places. Let's meet all these different people. Actually, these vibrations go together pretty nice. So you come off really fun and people are not disappointed when they get to hang out with you.
Good, good. We got another one, Jackie J, who was born November the 14th of 1968.
So November 14th, 1968. I would say, Jackie, I would say definitely look for that balance between being responsible and being able to pursue all the different things you're interested in. So make sure you don't just do all these different things and run yourself ragged and not really settle on anything. So I would say for you, just look for that balance between the variety that you possess, the interest that you possess, and really making sure you can do something that'll give you a nice, secure, steady life to live. So looking for that balance would be something I would recommend. And also understanding, coming from that perspective of scientific and intellect will also hone in on that energy as well, because you have it.
Good. I need to ask you a question before we go to our next commenter. You know, people have approached me about what I do sometimes seems to appear to be a contradiction against the laws of the Bible or religion. Have you encountered that too? And if so, how do you address it?
Yeah, astrology, is this a religion? There's a lot of skepticism about astrology and numerology. Is this of the devil, and it goes against religion and things like that.
Yeah.
And I say to them, okay, well, it's true that I don't come from an Abrahamic perspective. However, I do know that astrology and numerology is steeped in Christianity and steeped in Hebrew tradition. Numerology in particular is steeped in Hebrew tradition. If you look into the symbolisms of the Bible and Christianity, many of those things reflect astrological phenomena. So what I would encourage people to do is look deeper into the Bible, study the symbolism of the Bible, get a little bit of history outside of the version that you might be reading, because it's 1,000 different versions of that. And just, dig a little bit more into history and see where astrology really comes from.
Good. I have another question.
Sure.
Now the people have posed this question to me, and I've come up with my own rationale. So I'm going to pose it to you. Mm-hmm. Which do you think came first, astrology or numerology? It's like the chicken and the egg question.
Yes, I've gotten this question too. And people argue over this.
I know.
Astrology came first. It is the chicken and the egg. So part of me thinks that everything is based in the science of numbers, because in order to calculate your astrology chart, no matter what we're talking about, you need those numbers, you need those coordinates. The aspects in astrology are numbers. Those are the harmonics that vibrate to the numbers, right? So everything is based in numbers. Everything is going to be added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided. And so I would go with numbers. And I know that planets were here and so forth, but in order to calculate the effect of the planets and the angle that those neutrinos are hitting us and all that, quantum physics stuff, we need those numbers.
You know what? That's why you my man, Dennis. Okay. Great minds think alike. Because my rationale is similar. Well, in order to do an astrology chart, you got to present them with a certain set of numbers: the month, the day, the year, the time, and the location to work out the longitude and the latitude or the coordinates. So because a person born at 1 in California is like, a totally different time here in New York, which is 4 hours later, which is 4 o'clock. So to me, numbers had to come first. But we're definitely in the same line of thinking with that. That numbers came first. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I got another person here. It's her name is Lillian Hayes. She's born November the 19th.
November 19th. All right. The first thing that jumps out to me, you know, I find that third deacon Scorpios are very charismatic, and you got that 19 there. So that's that independence. But the 19 can be the balance between being independent and understanding that it's okay to rely on other people. But certainly the independence is there. I would say the charisma is there. You're on that little Chaldean Venus line there because you're a third deacon Scorpio. So definitely you might be very beautiful physically or have a very attractive personality. So, you know, very, very nice.
Okay, good. We have a Facebook user here, Capricorn. She says she has a Capricorn moon, and the moon happens to be in Capricorn today, and she's a Sagittarius like you, born on the 4th of December of 1986.
And you know what? We got the same moon. I'm also a Capricorn moon.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, I'm a Sagittarius with a Capricorn moon. I got an Aquarius ascendant.
Okay, all right. That would explain the love of the metaphysics too.
There you go. And we're talking about this Sagittarius being on the 4th. And so actually that's really good with that moon in Capricorn, because the 4 there speaks to the need for stability and familiar and working hard to achieve goals and understanding that, you know, work and money takes time to build. So I think that Capricorn moon is a good complement to that, that 4 energy. And you're in the same deacon of Sagittarius I am, which is a Chaldean moon deacon. And so understanding the sensitivities, and, you know, we could be a little moody. A second deacon Sagittarius we could be a little moody, you know, and that Capricorn moon, you know, a little dark sometimes, but I think we'll make it through there. So just stay optimistic.
Good. So it sounds like she has a bright future then.
I think so. Just stay optimistic, and it helps that we're Sagittariuses, especially with all that Capricorn going on. The good thing that we're Sagittariuses.
Now, you know what's interesting, because Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, is also born on this day, December the 4th. I don't know where his moon or ascendant is, but I know that everything he does about him is a 4. From Beyonce is a 4. They married in the 4th month. Their first child was named Blue, 4 letters, because I did a piece on them in one of my books that I wrote about them. So it's just interesting how numbers will follow people. So let's go to Crystal Hoffler. She's born December the 25th of 1972. She says, a reading, please, Dennis.
Oh, okay. Well, first I would say for that 25th, yeah, nice internal person, nice internal number. Maybe you a little bit of an introvert, and you got that first deacon Capricorn there. So you really have a good, basic, kind personality, but really introverted, and things have to make sense to you. And so you combine things making sense with your intuition, and you can be guided by both. One, what's going on in the intellect, and 2, what's going on in intuition. If you can combine those 2 things and find peace within yourself, I think that you'll be really good, and your intuitions will be on point.
Okay, very good. Now we got somebody just the opposite, Kimberly Babber, who was born on the August 18th of 76. Totally different energy from what you just read.
Oh yeah, because you got that. Now we're talking about that one. You got the lion, you got that Leo, and you're in that third deacon. So there's a little bit of aggression there. There's a little bit of fire there with the aggression, and then that 18, the sometimes self-sacrificing 9. And so I would say to try not to. When you give to other people, do it from the heart, not to get anything back in return. Make sure that your needs are also taken care of as well as everybody else's, because make sure you don't deprioritize yourself. Put yourself first without having to lose it on everyone, but just make sure you prioritize yourself first. And when you prioritize yourself first, you will benefit others, because then you'll have the energy for others as well.
Very good. You know, I've had astrologers on before, but very rarely do they use the word deacon. Can you explain to people what that word means when you said you're in the first, second, or third deacon, or whatever the case is? What that means,
Yeah,
astrologically speaking?
absolutely. So every sign in the chart is 30 degrees, because the circle is 360 degrees. And so
Yep.
each sign is 30 degrees each, 0 to 29 Aries, 0 to 29 Taurus, and so forth. When you break it down even further, you break the pie down even further, you can break it into 3 sections of 10 degrees. So each section has the ruler. For example, let's use Aries as an example. So Aries is ruled, by Mars and so forth. So that's the whole 30 degrees. But when you break it down into 10-degree sections, those thirds, they are what's called deacons. DEC meaning 10. So 10 degrees of each sign. Those are deacons, and they have co-ruling energies.
Okay, good. I just, I'm serious. I've had astrologers on, but none of them have mentioned, because not only you get into the birthdays, but you say what phase of that degree that they're in, whether they're in the first 10, second 10, or third. So that's good. That's good. Thank you. This one here is from Doris Smith. She is born August the 7th of 1955 in Brooklyn.
August 7th, 1955. Well, first I would like to say with this is another one that is very intellectual, very calm and intellectual. Maybe to yourself a little bit. You like science, you like a little bit of internal conversation with yourself as well. I think that you are very kind. I think that you are very generous, but you don't always say what's on your mind. So sometimes you might want to speak a little bit more openly about what's concerning you, what's on your mind, what you like and what you don't like. That way, people better know how to accommodate you, because you don't necessarily change for people around you. You are who you are. But I would say if people knew a little bit more about what you were thinking, people would love to accommodate you more.
Good. Now, next we have a person born 10-10-64, and it's interesting because 64 also has up to 10. So what about this person, Charlene Adams, October the 10th, 64?
Now, this is a life full of independence, like issues and ups and downs around independence, because you got that double 10, which of course is that double 1. So a lot of your life has revolved around this idea of independence. So maybe there was a time where you had to be on your own earlier than you might have wanted to, or you may have been doing some things to really fight for your independence. But that independent spirit is really strong. But sometimes people don't really see that. You approach people from more of a nurturing energy. You kind of come back laid back. And so people might think they can take advantage of you when they really can't. So just be careful that people don't approach you like they can con you, because they can't. But because you come across so nurturing and laid back and kind, people may look at you a certain way. So just be careful.
Okay, good. This person here is Corius Hollis. They're born June the 3rd, 75 in Thomaston, Georgia.
June 3rd, 1975.
Yep.
All right, now this is really cool, because you got this Gemini, and you got, we're going to keep up the second deacon, and then you got that 3. So this is really somebody that that understands what fun is, and understands what going out there, experimenting, trying different things, doing different things. You probably have a lot of experience in your lifetime. But I also think that maybe in the first part, you may have been hit with some family responsibilities that may have been a little bit too heavy. But I also think that your spirit will bounce back, and you tend to have luck on your side, whether you necessarily see it at that moment or not. So, keep on trucking.
Okay, good. I want to ask you a question over and above the guest. There's supposed to be a number of planets being retrograde, I think no less than 5 planets out of alignment in August, because that's what I call the crazy summer. Some might call it a hot summer, but I'm going to call it crazy summer because I think Saturn is retrograde. That's a couple of planets. Are you familiar with what other? Most people are familiar with Mercury retrograde, of course. That's the most common, more frequent, 4 times a year or 3 times a year. Are you familiar with some of the planetary aspects that could make for a crazy summer this time?
Yeah, actually, there's some retrograde planets going on right now, and Mercury is not
Yeah,
one of them. Right?
yeah,
So we got
yeah.
Saturn is currently retrograde, Pluto is retrograde, Neptune is retrograde. And so when you have retrograde planets going on all at one time, for the individual, it's going to be turning inward and rethinking some things, right? And it's going to be that way to a degree for the collective. Saturn is really going to be there teaching people lessons. It's in tropical Aquarius going retrograde. So there's going to be some rethinking about how to move forward in a new and innovative way, right? Because there's a lot of different changes going on when it comes to the government versus being independent. Pluto has been taking us through that lesson in Capricorn for quite some time, and now it's retrograde. So there's definitely going to be a lot of energy, a lot of breaking down of old things to rebuild new things, and that understandably is going to come with some destruction. You can't break down the infrastructure of the government, Pluto and Capricorn, without some unfortunate things happening. But that's necessary for the restructure of the society.
Okay, good. Well put. Well put. I like that. I like that. Now, I did an aspect of about 2 weeks ago on the 4th of July, because the birthday of the United States. And I was talking about how there are numbers that will follow them. Of course, it's a Cancer. What I understand, a Scorpio moon, it's 13 degrees Scorpio. It's in 13 degrees Cancer. What say you about the aspects of the United States this year, astrologically speaking?
There's been a lot of talk about that because the United States has just experienced its Pluto return. Around 27, 28 degrees Capricorn. That's where it was in 1776. And so the United States is going through a kind of reckoning with itself because it came in on Pluto and Capricorn, restructuring the society at that time. And now it's going through its reckoning. And Pluto being opposite the sun in Cancer, that's definitely going to be destruction of the self. All right. In this case, it's the self of the United States. So it's Pluto opposing the United States, So it's going to be destruction and reconstruction of the self. Right. And so it's going to be rough. It's definitely going to be rough.
So that means the citizens within the United States proper then also will be affected.
Yeah, well, it's going to be affected because when the United States is breaking down, when the identity of the self is going through that Pluto opposition, it is going to affect how government functions, how the culture is structured, and that will trickle down to individuals depending on, what's going on, how involved they are with the culture and what's going on in their own personal charts, of course. But yes, it is going to touch us in a very, in a collective way.
Yeah, I would agree right now with the high inflation. As I was explaining here in the city that we live of, New York City, they were talking about the medium rent now for medium income is $4,000 a month, which sounds insane to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's I guess it's all a part of that. And wouldn't that seem like to me that would put people under pressure? Because if you risk 1 month of rent at $4,000, then the next month you got to come up with $8,000. Okay. So it seemed like it would put a lot of economic pressure on people, which then has all kinds of ripple effects that affects relationships. You come home, you kick your dog or whatever the case is. So I'm just, listen.
Yeah, there's a lot of economic pressure going on. And with that Uranus sitting in Taurus, we're already, not only we're going through economic pressure, we're also going through the change of the actual currency itself. With this crypto and with this digital currency, that's Uranus and Taurus. So we are going through a lot of financial changes and a lot of structural changes. Inflation is one of these things. And you see we have all these things with, they're trying to drive this climate change. So they stop the drilling of the domestic oil, and that's sending things up. It's going to be in flux for a while. And then we're also re-examining what we believe in, because we've got Neptune in Pisces, right? That's transcendence and spirituality. And so we're also going through a re-examination on where our spiritual values are. And it's retrograde, right? Where are our spiritual values as a country, as a people, as a society? What do we really believe in now that the structure of religion seems to have been crumbling for a while as we head to Pluto and Aquarius? What do we really believe? What are we doing?
Good question. See, those are thought questions. I like those kind of sponsors like that. Okay. It makes you think. And in fact, I have another person we're getting back to. This is Gloria Walters. She says, greeting everyone. She is born on March the 1st of 1960.
March 1st, 1960. You're another trooper. You know, I have a lot of respect for people who are March 1st. I know someone who was also on March 1st. Very good person. So I'm thinking respectable. I'm thinking very independent minded, has a very strong moral compass. I think that your moral compass leads you kind of approach life from that sense of stability and wanting to manifest something in the material world. I think independence. I think you had a lot of freedom growing up, and I think that has definitely stoked fire into your independence. And with that Pisces, definitely using that intuition as part of that moral compass that helps you make the right decisions, even if people don't know how you came up with them.
Okay, good enough. Next one is Hilda. She is born on July 21st of 66.
All right, repeat that. July 20 what?
July 21st, 1966.
Okay, cool. I want to hear you roar. See, it's interesting. A lot of the listeners or viewers they're coming up with a lot of these fun, adventurous numbers like the 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is independence and intuition. And because it's serving that lucky 3, this is really could be the personification of having a lucky 3. Understanding that lightning intuition and knowing when to go for things, the right time to go for things. I mean, you approach life from that perspective of standing on your own and being really independent. People sometimes may think you don't need assistance when you really do, because you come off so efficient. Yeah, very nice energy.
Okay, good. Next we have Amma. She is born December the 7th of 1968. She says, greeting on this full moon day to the both of us, my friend.
Greetings on this full moon in Capricorn, and I got a moon in Capricorn. It's probably tickling, although it passed my degree already. So maybe it's not tickling me anymore. December 7th. You know, the Sagittarius, and you're in that second decan, which is the moon and the 7th. And so I would definitely caution to make sure that you understand your own feelings. Be careful not to let life and the things that go wrong make you a little bit bitter and reclusive from life, because life has so many things to offer. You may want to do different things in life. You may have had, some freedom early on in life. So don't allow the craziness, the kookiness to make you distrust people. Stay optimistic and, look towards your spirits, look towards the spirits to be your guide.
Okay, good. This is the first one where it says, greetings, Lloyd and distinguished guests. I definitely agree. Mr. Cortland Hinton, this is a couple. So this is interesting. He is born on July the 30th of 1966. His wife, Tanya, is born on January the 30th, both Leos and Aquarians. She's born in 1972. So the date again is July the 30th, 1966 for Mr. Hinton. And for Mrs. Hinton, she is born on January the 30th of 1972.
I can see why they would be a couple, because you already you've already got that intrinsic energy there. You've already got that intrinsic energy, that instinctive understanding each other, from a very instinctive place, even though, you have come from different lives. There have actually been different backgrounds. You're coming from different upbringings. There's different energies going on there, but there seems to be a meeting of the minds that you come together and kind of intrinsically understand each other's energy. And I would say that the July 30th may come off a little bit more outgoing. They may be the one that's kind of upfront in the beginning, like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and everything. So they kind of fuel with the more spontaneous excitement. But I think this is a really good blend that you understand each other instinctively and you can support each other.
I would agree with that. And see, from my part, so I'm going to just interject mine because it's interesting. The first thing I noticed, they were both born on the 30th day of the month. So what I do when I look at couples, I try to find what is the common denominator. In this case, they're born on the 30th. So that tells me they either met on a Thursday, went out on a date on a Thursday, proposed on a Thursday, or since 3 also rules the period of Sagittarius, which is 3, and Pisces, which is 3, they could have either met in one of those months, got married in one of those months, went out on a dates in one of those months, or possibly got married on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th of the month, or even in a year that added up to a 3. So like in this case, let's say 2001, which is a 3, 2010, which is a 3, or something like that. But they have, and then he is fire and she's air. So I see a lot of working combinations between these two, and they both think on the same page, and they're both big thinkers.
Absolutely. So I definitely agree with you. I looked at that 30 was right away. That's the first thing I looked at, just like you.
Yeah, and see, in numerology, the compound number 30 denotes mental superiority. So you got a couple where both of them are thinking on the same. I would say this would be an unstoppable couple. That when they act as a unit, and they act as a unit toward a goal or objective, nobody can stand in their way. But that's my opinion. But anyway,
I agree with you, because that 30, that 0 supercharges that 3.
That's right. 3 to the 10th power. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Good. This is nice. I'm enjoying this. Let's see. Here we go. This person here is born V. Darrell. They're born February the 24th, 1983. They want love and career. They're very specific this time. Okay. So what do you say about
now we want to be all specific and stuff. Right. February 24th.
Yes, of 1983. And you're right. They definitely are very specific.
Now you want to be all specific. All right. I got you. The first thing I'm looking at here, I like to look at that 24 first. And so I'm thinking, something in responsibility or nurturing around family, responsibility, home. I think the 6 energy there with that 24 knows really how to be responsible when it comes to family and morality. I also think that's kind of a romantic number as well. So you're talking about love. I think there is a lot of love and affection here with that 6. Definitely looking for also I think the 6 also looks for balance between the career and the home. And so whatever you do, I would say definitely seek that balance. 6 is also the sextile. So when you put in work, an honest day's work, you will get an honest day's compensation back, even tenfold more than you're expecting. And I think this is a really nice energy for intuitive work as well, because you have that Pisces there. But also seriousness, because you're in that first decan, and that's Saturn. So really being serious about that healing work, serious about helping people along their journey, serious about those intuitive powers that you have. So really a nice chart for a career that can really help move people from the inside, and at the same time make a practical change for them.
And that's a nice read too. You're good. You're very good. You're very good. This is nice. I mean, this is very, very nice. Okay, now we got somebody that's going to be interesting. Josiah, Go Fly Guy, or Joshua, the Go Fly Guy, born August the 1st of 1991.
August 1st, 1991. All right, so this is another person that is serious. We just had someone on a Saturn decan here, And it sounds like we have that, again, someone who's very serious. And I would also think that there's some talent lying in there. There's some type of leadership ability. There's some type of entrepreneurial spirit at the same time, not afraid of hard work. And in fact, hard work may have been a theme throughout the life here. Also somebody who really wants to do something higher as well, not just nose to the grindstone, making that material difference, also doing something for the community, making a difference in other people's lives as well. That's kind of how he approaches life, the perspective that he's coming from. It's not just about him. It's not really a selfish person, but he's definitely a serious, talented, possible entrepreneurial type person.
Very good. And by the way, both the Facebook user that you read shortly before and Crystal Hoffler both said thank you at the same time.
Oh, well, you're welcome at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. We have, this is interesting. We have a Brenda Spirpa. I hope I'm Sherpa. Greetings and gratitude. She is born on November the 1st of 1981, and she wants you to know she also has a Capricorn moon.
Another Capricorn moon. It's raining Capricorns today, right?
Yep.
So what was that birthday again?
November the 1st of 1981.
You know what's funny about that? I had a girlfriend on November 1st. I know November 1st is really, really well. I think, first of all, November 1st, I think they approach life with a sense of fun and good humor, lots of smiles, lots of buoyancy, lots of fun and really good humor. Also, I think that November 1st is very self-reliant, very independent-minded as well. You got that Scorpio there. It's November, but it's not quite the second decan yet. So you're still in that Mars. That's still in that driven thing. So I'm thinking education. I'm thinking entrepreneurship. I'm thinking something that's fun. Maybe you succeeded in college, or maybe college wasn't your thing. You wanted to start your own business. I'm thinking education. I'm thinking fun. I'm thinking good humor. I'm thinking really independent. And I'm thinking maybe, taking on some responsibilities early in life. You got that master number thing going on with your month. So
that's interesting. And let me tell you how I'm looking at it too. When I saw the numbers 11, November the 1st of 1981, she's got nothing but ones and nine. Or she's got primarily
3 ones. Yeah, 4 ones.
Actually, she's got 5 ones because she's born November the 1st, 1981.
5 ones.
And then a 9. So ones and nines, as you and I know, are the leadership numbers. So I know that this is a take charge kind of individual. And so in relationships, that may be some of her challenges to me. In other words, when she gets in a relationship, more than likely a person may accuse her of being bossy or dominant, or as I often say, trying to tell her what to do, but she knows what she wants. And with all those ones and then added that 9, she's just going to speak on it. So if a person's not ready to, so that's how
I agree with you. You know why? I agree with you and why I can relate, because I got 4 ones on my grid. She got the 5 ones. I got 4 of them. So I definitely understand the power of wanting to be in charge. Like, I'm the one. It's about me. I definitely understand those energies. She got 5 ones. I got 4 of them.
Now, is there sometimes too much of a good thing can just be bad as a little no thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you don't want too many ones on your birthday grid, right? Because of the too many ones, it depends sometimes, because you got that sun energy, that Aries Leo sun energy. So too much of that could make somebody a little bit, domineering, a little bossy. Also, it could also result in someone who may question themselves on the inside. Am I really good enough? Because you have an overabundance of the ego, which is the sun. And so, try not to be a little bit too overbearing, but also, you don't have to always question your self-worth as well. So there's things to work out there. And I understand that journey too.
Because as you were talking, I was just thinking of the birthday that flashed in my mind was somebody born way back in November the 11th of 1911. They got 7 ones in that birthday and 1 9. Yeah. So I know that must have been, for those persons born on that day, November the 11th of 1911. 7 1s and 1 9. That's like.
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad you said that. Did you ever hear of this? Back in 1977, numerologists were getting a little scared. They were kind of getting, because, if you have a lot of 7s on your grid, it can be tough. And so that year, there were people being born with 4 7s on their grid. I actually knew someone, I went to school with someone born 7/7/1977.
I also know a person too born 7/7/1977.
Yeah. Her journey wasn't really a good one. Yeah.
Well, they're kind of like reserved, so to speak. I guess that might be it, but who knows? But anyway, I just think that's a very interesting sidebar. Now, what I need to do is I need to take I want to put your banner up a second so people know how to get in touch with you, and then we will get back to more. As you see, my distinguished guest is Dennis Sumlin. All righty. And so for those of you, he is a confidence coach, a superb astro-numerologist, as you can see. His contact number, because you do consultations, don't you, my friend?
I do consultations. I do one-on-one tutoring. And
Very good. And the number to do that is 646-470-5585. Again, go get your pencils, because I know you ain't got a paper pen, but his contact number is 646-470-5585. He has a website. The website is awesome. You got to see his website. His website is called coreconfidencelife.com. You see it spelled right there, CORE, the core, like getting to the heart of it, confidencelife.com. His email is dennis@coreconfidencelife.com. And by the way, you know how I feel about Cash Apps, folks. You got to show this brother some love. Please, if this Cash App is $ Dennis R. Sumlin, SUMLIN. Please support the brother, okay? It is not easy. What made you decide to step out here and do this anyway, my friend? We've taken a path that's not easy. It doesn't have any security. It doesn't have any pensions. It doesn't have any parachutes. It doesn't have any vacations. What made you decide to do this, Dennis?
Man, as we just spoke about, I got 4 1s, right? I got that Aquarius rising. We want to keep it steeped in astro-numerology. But in plain English, I don't like working for people. I don't like being told what to do. I like to really run my own operation here, right? I can't do what I feel like my mission here, working 9 to 5 up under somebody else's rules and programs and stuff.
Yeah, well, that makes sense knowing your birthday, my friend. But anyway, please donate to Dennis R. Smith. $. This is his Cash App. Please show the brother some love. I'm serious with this. All of my guests come on here have chosen a path that is not an easy one. That's all I can tell you. It is not an easy path to choose when you are taking something that has no securities, no parachutes, no cushions, nothing. And to just go out here and do this, just on faith and just a passion to do this. So as you see, and by the way, he offers books and courses too. Can you explain your books and courses? Because you offer some interesting things on your website when they go to it.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, actually, one of the things you can do on the website is I teach courses, free courses every, a couple times a week on the social media like Clubhouse, and you can go there for free if you have that app. Also, you can actually become a paid member of Core Confidence Life, and that way you have access to the free courses, which we talk about in a second. During these, you can also ask me any questions at any time, and there's content on the website that's only available for members as well. We are going to be having some courses come out in the fall, the basics of astrology. Like, really, one of the questions I get a lot when people are learning about astrology is, it's cool, all these technical things, but how do you weave the story together from the chart? And that takes a real pure understanding of the basic operations of the 12 signs in terms of numerology, the basic operations of the base numbers. And so we do courses like that. Also on the website, you'll find quizzes. So if you're already familiar with astrology, or if you want to kind of brush up on it, take some quizzes. They're like learning tools. They'll tell you right away what the answer is if you get it wrong. So there's a lot to explain.
I like that.
You just go to the site, you know?
I like that. I like that. Okay. So I'm going to keep the band up there one more second. Dennis Sumlin is my distinguished guest name. He is a competence coach, astro-numerologist, and a brilliant guy as far as I'm concerned. His contact number is 646-470-5585. So please call and schedule an appointment. His website that you can catch him on that I was watching just before we came on is Core Competence. CoreConfidenceLife.com. His email is dennis@CoreConfidenceLife.com. His Cash App, and you know how I feel about that, is $ Dennis R. Sumlin, Sumlin. And his books and courses are being offered. Some, if you become a member, which you should, is absolutely free for you. All right, Dennis, I think we will get back to this. Boy, time goes by. We're going to, can you have time to just take a couple of more comments, birthdays?
Sure, we could, yeah, just do some more comments, a couple more comments. That's what's up.
Okay. All right, good. My man. This is Pound. Pound is born October the 5th of 1976 at 6:05 in Warwick, New York. He says some insight would mean a lot if possible. Thank you, he says. Pound.
Okay.
October the 5th, 1974.
October 5th. Just looking at it from a distance there, I would say there's definitely some things very intellectual, you know, liking to experiment. You got the Libra, so you're very experimental. You like balance and fairness, and that's kind of what you seek, is balance and fairness, and to have a really 360 view of things so you can make decisions. I will say that because you are in the second decan, you have that Saturn sitting there, which is a good thing in some ways, because it makes you more serious and more able to put your nose to the grindstone. But what I've noticed about second decan Libras is that sometimes you may suffer from a little bit of indecisiveness, a little bit of low self-esteem. So I would say really recognize the talent that you have. You've got so much talent there with that second term thing going on. You approach life from a very good heart, moral value way. And I would just say, have more confidence in yourself. You know, try to avoid getting too depressed and too introverted, and just really let people see who you really are.
Good. Now, this is another 5 person. Her name is Carla Du Bois, the Urban Express. Thank you so much for the donation, Carla. Her birthday is March the 5th of 1969 at 4 p.m. on the nose. She says, anything you want to give.
On the nose. Yes, this is another person that is a 5, but it's a different decan line, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. So, but now this is a 5, but now this is a second decan Pisces, and we're talking about Jupiter. So this is, and she's got that March too, which is that 3. So this is expand, fun. In fact, you might be doing too many things. You know, slow down a little bit there. You know, but I think it's good because you're very intelligent. You know a lot of things about a lot of things. I would think there's a really big urge to travel or have a lot of different experiences, but try to not to scatter yourself. Not to scatter yourself too deep, and also sometimes take in the information before you think you know the answer. But this is good energy, big energy.
Good. We're going to read 2 more. This one is King Danta. They were born on July 31st of 1985, if at all possible. They said their sun sign is in Leo. Their moon sign is in their sun sign is in Leo. They said their moon and is in Aquarius and Aries. I guess that's how they said. Hold on.
Well,
let me read this
well, you can't. I would have to skip that part because your moon sign in Aquarius, Aries. I can't use that.
Yeah. But I'm sure. But maybe they meant their moon is in Aquarius and their ascendant is in Aries. Maybe that's what they meant.
That could be what they mean, but you know, I would rather be sure than to do guesswork.
Sure.
As far as the July 31st part, we can definitely do that part. And again, this is another one. You have a lot of good, serious people that watch your show because this is yet another Saturn decan, but it's a Leo one. And so I would say this is another one, and it's a July. Those July Leos, they don't be having it. They like to be in control, right? They're very, very headstrong. They like to be in control. And this is a Saturn deacon as well. And it's that 4. And so very strong. I would say that this is another entrepreneur, another leader type person. But I would say try not to be overbearing and just be a little bit more compromising, because that 31-4 likes things the way that they like things, right? You want to have fun. You're a strong-minded person, but you like things the way you like things. But I think it could be that you get some new ideas from some people, and that could add to your success.
Very good. I know we said 2 more, but we're going to do this one and then 1 more. All right. This one is Falari. I'm so sorry I can't pronounce the name, and I don't want to do that. But they're born on July 16th of 1991. Palarami. Well, anyway, this is the person she's born on, or they're born on July 16th. So what say you about them?
July 16th.
Of 1991.
Yeah. Now this whole thing is filled with sensitivity, right? You see, look at all them 7s hanging out in there. That's 16. That's 7. It's just, and they're in that 3rd deacon of Cancer, which is that double moon. So very, very intuitive, very sensitive. Likes to feel things out. Can be a little, be internal. So I would think very high intuition. But certainly very high intuition. I would definitely say that. And,
I would agree with you too.
Woo!
Because they're a water sign with a water number, and we know by element that has symbolic meanings such as intuitions, feelings, hunches, insight that we can't explain. And
it's not, it's maybe a hard time putting those things into words. That's a good point you got there.
Yeah. This last one is let me see. Can we do this? How come it's not doing this? Anyway, it's a Patrice Ferguson, although you can't see it, but she's born on July the 6th of 1970, and she also gave a donation. Thanks so much, Patrice, for doing this. So what do you say for this person that just recently had a birthday this month on July the 6th of 1970?
Now this is intense, but it's not like the other one. This is a bit more intense. You got the underlay. You're in the Mercury kind of deacon, and you have a little bit of a scorpionic underlay. There's a lot of things here with this 2nd deacon of Cancer. But I would say that this is somebody who is concerned with family and making sure that their loved ones is doing okay. They're very protective over people that really, if you love somebody, if they're part of your tribe or part of your family, you will protect them to the end. Let's just say that, right? And so I think that's a really good, strong, intense energy. But I would also say definitely find a way to let go of some of those feelings. Decompress every now and then. Don't let those things sit inside of you. Decompress a little bit.
Dennis, I got to tell you, man, we're running a little over an hour, but I got to thank you. This was an enjoyable session. I got to have you back on again before the year is out, if you don't mind. But at the bottom of the screen, this is how you contact my distinguished guest. And we live in the same community right here in Harlem. His name is Dennis Sumlin, confidence coach, Astro-Numerologist extraordinaire as far as I'm concerned. His contact number is 646-470-5585. His website is coreconfidencelife.com. Okay, his email is dennis@coreconfidencelife.com. But by the way, go to his site. If y'all got a moment, go to his site. I mean, he's got a little bit of everything up in there. It's like, what? He does this, that, and the other. So, and his Cash App is $ Dennis R. Sumlin, SUMLIN. And he has books and courses that he gives free. Dennis, any last words you want to say before we cut this off for this evening, buddy?
Hey, man, I really appreciate being in this space with you, brother. And we're neighbors anyway. And so here we are again. And I definitely enjoyed this time. And your viewers, too. Thanks for the birthdays. Thanks for all the different questions you're throwing at me. Keeps a brother on his toes.
No question. That's how we do it.
That's right. Keep a brother on his toes. And just all these things that we've been doing here should just let everyone know that, we have immense talent just as we are right now. if we become conscious and we unlock it, you know?
That's why you are a confidence coach, my man. Okay. That's
Right.
exactly
Thank
why
you.
you are a confidence coach. So listen, I need to, whoops, I need to just make some more announcements. How did that happen?
All right.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to me a second, Dennis.
Mhm.
And I'm going to just announce a couple of things before we do. So just sit tight a second. So for those of you, thank you very, very much supporting my guest, Dennis Donnell Sumlin. And I just want to let you know that there are a couple of things going on, which is one, I have a guest on Monday. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Her name is Kimberly Williams. She is a coach too, and she will be here on Monday with the show. I want to let you know that today my course is on sale. The price is even lower. Now, let me tell you this. The only time, if you notice, I do this is when the course is on sale. Why? Because you have no excuse not to get this at this cost. Okay. I mean, I would like everybody to buy the course at retail, but I would prefer that you get the knowledge, then I get your money. Although I'm thinking about getting rich now. That's my challenge. I want everybody to become rich. But the point is, I want you to become also rich in knowledge too. Rich comes in other forms other than just a dollar bill. So here it is. You see, all of my courses are all on sale, and at they're priced that are all affordable. The one at the top, which is Learn from Lloyd How to Read a Person Like a Book, which is a bestseller. I think that's about $16. But I mean, you're talking about less than $45. And by the way, if you get two, if not three of the courses, if you get at least two of the courses, they give you an additional 15% discount. But you must go to my website to take advantage of it. It is Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD Strayhorn, Strayhorn. Go to my website. Also, by the way, folksies, I've made a promise. I told you that because I was running a little behind, but the newsletter is now out. So this is the monthly July newsletter. It is absolutely free. Okay. It is one that my colleague and I, Kaya French, does. So you can either go to her website or go to mine, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and sign up for the free monthly newsletter. No, we do not sell your name. No, we don't do that. We don't play that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's all I want to say. So just to go back again, here it is. Please sign up for the course. I think the sale is over tomorrow, but don't wait till tomorrow. Get it while it's dirt cheap. Get all the courses, and if you get at least two of the three courses, you will get an additional discount. The code word is thanks. Isn't that nice? That's what you got to do. So go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and sign up for all three courses. Own them. You go at your own rate. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be no speed racer. Go at your own pace, but I want you to own them. I want you to have that knowledge. So when you are ready for it, it is available for you. All righty. And I will continue to have great guests. And don't forget, on Monday, I will have my guest, Kimberly Williams, who is a very, very interesting woman. I've been on her show too. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. And hold on, let me do this. And I gotta say a special thanks to my buddy Dennis. Thank you, man. This was really a treat. I really enjoyed you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Okay.
for this space, brother.
Yeah, and likewise, and thank you for being on. Because and by the way, please go to his website and hold up, Dennis. I got to give it one more play. I got to put your information on there in case somebody says I didn't get it. There it is, right there. All right, Dennis Sumlin, confidence coach, Astro-Numerologist. Contact number 646-470-5585. I like those numbers. His website is Core Confidence. Core Confidence site.life.com. His email is dennis@coreconfidencelife.com. His cash app, $Dennis R. Sumlin, Sumlin. And of course, his books and courses are there. You got to see it. The brother offers so much stuff on his site. Believe me. And it is not a rush site. It was well put together too. Well put together too, Dennis. And the topics you have that you recorded back then is just as good as it is now. But that's the nature of a truth. Truth never goes out of style. Okay. So, Dennis, you have a great day, my brother. Bless you. And you take good care of yourself. All right.
You too, brother. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. And everybody, I want to thank you very, very much for joining me this evening on this Wednesday, the full moon day of the 13th of July. And everybody, you'll all have a very, very safe weekend. Take good care of yourselves. All righty. It's been very hot out here lately, but hey, that goes with the territory. But in the meantime, take care. See you then.